to another day to talk sport again on Global Television. This is Global Sport. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course it is the TGIF edition of Talk Sport. And the weekend is coming with so much. The UPL is returning again, and so good. It's starting right away as we speak. There is a warm-up, at least at Brighton and Chelsea. I don't know where Chelsea is on the table right now. Brighton, Chelsea match. Well, apart from that, we also look at the NPFL. That's the Nigeria Professional Football League. Aquara United shock shooting stars all back in 11. Then they were able to end their unbeaten run. Moving away from there, how are the players doing in their various clubs? Victor Osimhen, a lot of people got it for him. Ademola Lookman. Then we also look at the killer group where our players have fallen into right now, playing with Egypt. Are you telling me something? All right, this will form the basis for our discussion today on Talk Sport. As a matter of fact, my guest is right here in the studio, and he will be joining me on the show. Pendi Mendy is right here, and of course, he's a sport analyst. It's good to have you join us on Talk Sports today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's quickly look at what's happening in the NPFL. Some people call it Nigeria Premier Football League. Some other persons call it Nigeria Professional Football League. As a matter of fact, it was a fantastic time. As Aquara United yesterday were able to end Shooting Stars unbeaten run of 9 beautiful games with a resounding 2-0 victory back there in Ilorin, Kwara State in a rescheduled game. Well, did you see that game coming and the win? You know, ending an unbeaten run. What do you think about it?
It's a surprise. I mean, it's a shock. I won't say I don't even think anybody saw that coming. You know, I mean, Aquara United. You know, with all due respect, I mean, if you look at the form the Shooting Stars had been before that game, you know, it's a very big surprise and it's a massive upset. I'll go far as saying, you know, it's the upset of the season, if you ask me. So I think it's just a big upset.
That's an offset of the season, a rescheduled game. As a matter of fact, moving away from there, let's also let you know that so many things are happening from back home in Nigeria, and we will be looking at all of that. As a matter of fact, Insurance Kayode Oke lost a ton in the flesh of Enyimba in another rescheduled game again that was played, as coming the only goal in the 1-0 defeat of the 9-time league winner. Enyimba's Innocent Gabriel was sent off after harshly bringing down goal bound Oke in the 21st minute, with the visitors reduced to men. And that game was actually a win. They actually lost in that rescheduled game. And moving away from there, still talking about NFF, as they have revised the points deduction for Bendel Insurance and Nasarawa United. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has overturned the Nigeria Premier Football League's NPFL decision to deduct 3 points to each from Bendel Insurance and Nasarawa United. Why did they do that? Bendel Insurance had initially been fined and penalized with a 3-point goal deduction following a crowd trouble. One of the problems we have in the NPFL, why some Nigerians don't even watch the game, is because of the crowd trouble. That's one. And the home advantage, playing at home, all of them just want to win the game. If they don't win, the crowds will react. But then, as a matter of fact, the league match against Kano Pillars at the Boadia Stadium, Benin City, on November 11th. However, on Wednesday, February 12th, the NFF and the disciplinary committee now were able to rule the fine alone were sufficient punishment for the incident. What would you have to say about crowd trouble as far as NPFL is concerned?
I would say, you know, it's a shame. After more than 10 years, we're still talking about crowd trouble in the Nigerian Professional Football League. I mean, this has been going on as far as I can. In fact, this has been going on, as if I'll go further and say, since I was a kid. You know, there are some stadiums you cannot just go there and win the home team. If not, the crowd gets mad. And
so when you go play like that, you just be careful not to win.
Just be careful not to win. And it's a shame we're talking about this, because at this point you expect the NFF, you know, to have dealt with this a long time ago. I mean, for league for a country like Nigeria, who has had a league for this long, I mean, we shouldn't be talking about this now. And if you ask me, I'm surprised they reversed the point deduction. It should have been there. It should have.
I think there was an appeal, maybe probably after they appealed the disciplinary committee, so reasons why that should be actually withdrawn. All right, moving away from there, let's talk about handball a little bit. Handball Federation said for a 4x4 seminar for coaches and referees, and the Handball Federation has announced a 4x4 seminar that will be going on for coaches and referees, and these are game players when it comes to handball, the coach and of course the referee. Most of the problems we have even in football, the one play the game, is referees. Some of the referees trying to favor some clubs, and of course their inability to pass fair judgment. And this seminar is scheduled to take place at Alake Sports Center in Abeokuta, which will begin this February. According to the press statement that came to us, the Secretary General of the Federation, Monica Otomola, just said the objective of the seminar is to update the coaches and of course referees the rules and regulations guiding the game. Does it mean there are some coaches and referees that don't know the rules guiding the game? And how important do you see organizing seminars for coaches and of course referees in Nigeria? We'll soon get to the fixture because we need to talk about that too, so let's just brush over this a little bit.
I think it's important. This is the right step to go. I'm so happy by this, and not just handball. I hope this goes around every sport in Nigeria. They need a lot of referees, match officials, and even the game officials need to be orientated more about the sports, because if you agree with me that a lot of sports in Nigeria have gone back, like 10, 20 steps back, but I think regular, programs like this, can just, be what we take, to bring most of these sports back to life in this country.
A sport needs to get back to life in this country. Let's talk about the African Cup of Nations. On the 2025 game, Nigeria is going to be in a very dynamic group as we speak to you. The Nigerian Flying Eagles draw Egypt, South Africa, Morocco in group of death. We call it group of death. Morocco, Egypt, then South Africa. The draw actually for the 2025 Under-20 African Cup of Nations have been concluded by the Confederation of African Football. According to the information, 7-time champions Nigeria have been handed a very tough path at the 2025 Under-20 African Cup of Nations, that is AFCON, after being drawn in a challenging Group B alongside Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco. My God. The draw conducted yesterday has replaced, and of course what we used to see as a very cheap group. Now what we have is a very tough group, and the Flying Eagles in what many are calling the tournament's group of death. What do you think? Group of death, how possible is it for the Eagles to escape South Africa, Egypt, and Morocco?
Well, I agree with you, it's a group of death. When you look at the group itself, you feel, as a Nigerian, you feel a bit worried. But again, this is our food. This is this is a tournament that we have done very well in the past, and it might be a different set of players. But however, I feel when these players sit down and look at how the past set before them performed, they will tell themselves that we cannot afford to fail. We cannot afford to embarrass ourselves. And someone like me just hopes, that will just be enough to boost their morale to do well.
Alright, to boost their morale to do well, leaving displacement in the picture we had the Super Eagles and not the Under-20 right there. But then, since we already have the picture of the Super Eagles, let's talk about the Super Eagles. And as a matter of fact, preparation for World Cup. Ademola Lookman is so happy he's returning back to his feet right now after the injury, and it's so good. Now talking about the Super Eagle, you can see their picture was just shown, and of course course, let's get to see the Super Eagles once again. What do you think about the Super Eagles qualification for the World Cup? Because Chile has taken that as one of his first assignment, qualifying for the World Cup. What do you think about it?
No, that's not just his first assignment. I would say that's his main assignment.
His main assignment.
That's his main assignment. You know, from the look of things, just like I said last time, when you look at our group, you tend to feel worried. You tend to feel worried. You know, we are winless, and but again, you know, new coach, new system. You know, the players, you know, are eager to impress the gaffer. So I'm expecting a reaction from the Super Eagles, and a very good one at that. I really hope all Nigerians do, you know, that we can qualify. However, we need to be true to ourselves that it looks very difficult. But again, a win on under Eric Charles' first game, first World Cup qualifier game in Chad, will just be the boost we need.
All right, that's just the boost that we need. But then the Super Eagles have a lineup of Super Eagles friendly in June. The Super Eagles are going to be facing Russia in a friendly encounter in June, all in preparation for the World Cup already. And according to the information available to TalkSport this morning, main website of the Russian Football Union, the encounter will hold on June 16, and the venue and time will be announced later on by the organizers. The European will also slug it out with Belarus in another friendly 4 days later. Russia have also lined up a friendly against Zambia in March. The encounter will hold on, in fact, I don't know, but then it may be happening in a place where we can have fans all over. But then the friendly, we're talking about Russia here. Russia, if you look at the World Cup that we've played with Russia, they are not a push-aside club, a country at all. So this friendly with Russia, do you see it as a good measure?
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is, a good measure. You know, this Russia is a team that, you know, you're just coming back from a very lengthy ban, you know, and they're eager, you know, to show the world that, you know, our match rustiness is nothing, you know, and this is the best, I would say this is the best, you know, opponent we can get at this point, just because of, you know, let's see how we can fare against an average European side, which is, you know, what's the World Cup all about? Because there are a lot of teams like Russia. So it's a very good one, very, very good one. And I really hope, you know, our boys can impress.
Our boys can really impress. We're actually waiting for that. Before we go into the EPL, because Maresca has confirmed that Jurgensen, he is the number one, goalkeeper. Enzo Maresca is the one saying that, and he confirmed it yesterday that Philip Jurgensen has replaced Robert Sanchez as Chelsea's number one goalkeeper as he seeks to recover momentum in the Premier League. Spain international Sanchez, 27, has made a very costly error in this season, and including the last month's 3-1 defeat at Manchester City. I don't know if they will ever get any goalkeeper like Courtois. But then, talking about the statement coming right now, Philip, what do you think? Maresca is the one saying this.
Well, I just have one question, which every Chelsea fan has. Why did it take so long? Why did this decision take? This would have happened since last.
Are you a Chelsea fan? I'm suspecting you.
Of course I'm a Chelsea fan.
No wonder. You're saying that with a lot of enthusiasm. You guys have been waiting for a different goalkeeper.
What happened last year? I mean, why did you even take this?
So are you trying to tell us that the troubles that Chelsea had and may still be having is because of just the goalkeeper?
Not really just because of the goalkeeper, but I mean, with all due respect to Robert Sanchez, I mean, especially this year, he has played a large part in the fact that why Chelsea are not, you know, close to Liverpool in the title race. I mean, there's no game you won't just sense, you know, that nervousness in him. You know, he just, it's been like, you know, as if he's always scared on the ball, you know, makes schoolboy errors if I'm allowed to use that word, you know. And I'm glad that at least it's better late than never. But again, I mean, this should have happened right at the turn of the year.
All right, Mendy is actually excited that this goalkeeper is now coming in. But are you aware that Chelsea and Britain will be having it real time today?
Yes, sir. Yes,
9 p.m. Nigeria time.
Yes, of course.
That's the fixture for today. That's the EPL fixture for today. So what do you think? Are you giving it to Chelsea? Let me just try him. He's a Chelsea fan. I just got to know that. Are you giving it to Chelsea?
Let me be real to myself and say, you know, Chelsea this season are not trustworthy. You know, you can't just say they will win. And you know, the win against against Chelsea for Brighton in the FA Cup last week might just be that more booster for them. Let's not forget, you know, they have been in a very terrible form on the build-up to that game. And winning Chelsea, you know, and facing them again today, I feel, you know, they might be charged up. And I'm not seeing this game go in easy for Chelsea at all. I'm not. Again, as a Chelsea fan, I hope we win. I hope they win.
All right, so that's hope. Let's expect a light at the end of the tunnel. And FC Augsburg and RB Leipzig from the Bundesliga. That game is going to be going down at 8:30 today. Is that an interesting game? Is there anything to watch out for that game?
Well, you know, from the look of things, you know, you could just say, if you look at the past form, you can say you can give it to Leipzig. But again, Augsburg are a very fantastic team to watch. You know, so it's going to be a very interesting one. I see, you know, match full of goals, if you ask me.
Match full of goals. That's moving away from there. Let's quickly go to other games that will be going down today. And of course, still the Premier League games for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the D-Day. We want to look at the fixtures before we get into the other stories. But then, before we get into the fixtures, let me just also intimate us and let us know that, of course, many things are happening from the world of sport. And of course, let me just bring you this little information that Gigensen's #1 goalkeeper, as he has been declared by, of course, Maresca. But then let's also intimate you that a lot is happening. The Premier League, Spain international Sanchez has already made a strange, costly error in the past, and of course, Mendy have reacted to that. But then, as a matter of fact, Maresca, whose team will face Britain again today, like I said already, confirmed at his pre-match press conference that Gigensen 22 is currently his first choice goalkeeper. Then don't also forget that Fenerbahce will Sociedad and win in Europa League playoff. Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce, well, Jose Mourinho, I think England missed him, and he was able to win a 3-0 at home to Anderlecht in their first leg of the Europa League knockout phase playoff tie. That was yesterday. Then while Real Sociedad triumph 2-1 away to Midland, former Premier League duo of Dusan Tadic and of course Edin Dzeko score in the first half for Fenerbahce before Morocco international, talking about Youssef Ensiri, headed in a third for the Turkish side to give them the full control. Mourinho won the competition with Porto in 23 and of course again with Manchester United in 2017, also reaching the final when he was charged of Roma 2 years ago. Real Sociedad will return to Spain in what we call a commanding position after a penalty from Brais Mendes, and of course temporary goal by Japan winger, talking about Tefusa Kubo, who saw the pass against Danish Midtjylland, who pulled off back through Adam Buska. Well, Jose Mourinho, apart from being a talking coach, I think some persons really believe that he knows his audience and he knows his job. What do you think about Fenerbahce's performance and of course Jose Mourinho? Is he talking too much?
No, that's Jose Mourinho for you. You can never say he's talking too much, you know. He's always a man of his words. He's always a man of his words. And, you know, I think, you know, with all due respect to Anderlecht, I feel the game's all over, you know. Fenerbahce are not going to concede 3 goals away it's not going to happen. Not Jose Mourinho's team, and it will be a good one for him if his team can go all the way. However, there are a lot of good teams still remaining in the Europa League, and Sociedad and Midtjylland. I feel the game's all over. Same thing, because when Sociedad are not going to lose a game at home. I mean, their home ground and Anoeta is a slaughter ground to teams in the past, both in Europe and domestically. I mean, there was a time a team like Barcelona could not even win there for more than 10 years, to show you how good Sociedad are at home. But football, just like I've always told you, football is full of surprises. Football is full of surprises. It seems unlikely that surprise will happen in this stage, but again, let's wait and see.
Let's just wait and see as Atletico targets Lookman as Griezmann's replacement. What do you think about that?
Perfect.
Just give it to them. Perfect.
And
but according to,
I really want this move to work. I really, this is just going to be a perfect one for Ademola Lookman, because if he goes there, he's going to be the backbone of the team. He's going to be the playmaker, and this is what Atletico Madrid just needs. Just to be, to challenge Real Madrid and Barcelona for the trophy. This is a perfect move, and I really hope they pull this one off.
All right, Ademola Lookman. Where do you think Ademola Lookman should go? Because some persons are saying, hey, come to England. But then I think it's a different story right here, because the reigning African Player of the Year has been a subject of transfer speculation following his remarkable form since joining Atlanta for €100 million in 2022. Lookman has heavily been linked with several top European clubs during the summer transfer window, including Paris Saint-Germain. Atlanta, however, managed to keep hold of the star player, but then the Super Eagles forward continues to attract interest from European clubs. Let's see what's really going to happen, whether he is actually going to be there or not. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we return and we'll continue with Talk Sport and Global Television, because we need to talk about the fact that even Victor Osimhen is also on the radar. And don't forget that the matches for tomorrow, especially from the Premier League, is something that you need to know what the fixtures are, and you will be getting all on this program. Stay with us. We return for Talk Sport after this break. Three times UEFA Champions League winners, talking about Manchester United, are considering parting ways with Alessandro Garnacho and of course Rasmus Højlund in a bid to at least raise funds for Victor Osimhen's summer transfer and his arrival. One very important thing and very interesting thing about football right now is the fact that Nigerians, if you want to talk about basic and major transfers right now, you would want to mention one or two Nigerians. Remember that of Boniface is there. A lot of people are talking about Adam Sako, and a lot of other Nigerian players. But then let's talk about Victor Osimhen. We just finished talking about Ademola Lookman. Victor Osimhen, Manchester United. What do you think? Because some persons will want to say, hey, of all club, now Manchester United, you want to go.
Well, again, I mean.
The Manchester United is an England club, and they are not doing badly. Are they doing badly? I don't know. I want to hear from their fans and you.
They are not in the top 10. So that tells it all.
All right, Manu, you don't hear from my mouth.
That says it all.
You are not in top 10, so you know where you do. Answer your papa name.
I'm not going to be sentimental here. Going to Man United for Osimhen will be great.
Will be great.
Because it's England. I mean, if surely they're going to get rid of Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho. Why not? Why not go there? You know?
So they need to sell 2 players to get a player. My God, my brother, you get level.
If they can, if that happens, why not? Why not just go there? You know, it's a player who I know will score goals anywhere, even if he plays for my own village team. I know he's going to score goals. So I mean, I really want him to go there. If they can pay him the money, you know, Chelsea will feel.
But anybody should be able to score goals in your village team. Anybody should be. Well, that's just by the way. All right, but then Manchester United welcoming Victor Osimhen any moment soon. Well, let's see how that is going to go. Manchester United is a very big and great team. Wanting to sell 2 players to get Victor Osimhen is commendable. The English Premier League from Napoli last season, they were able to actually do their transaction with Chelsea, assuming the likeliest destination, but then Chelsea, some person said, messed up. According to what a Chelsea fan actually was very angry. I said, hey, come on, are you angry because Victor Osimhen is a Nigerian? He said, no, the politics, you know, the management, some of the things, but then I think Manchester United are about getting Victor Osimhen. That's just a speculation. By the time the contract has been signed, we'll let you know, because he joined Galatasaray on a season-long loan, and Manchester United has spent over 100 million pounds on strikers over the past 2 seasons. Of course, you could remember 36.5 million pounds for Joshua Zirkzee, if you could remember then, and that's not all. Even of course the 64 million pounds for Rasmus is another one again, and these players, I think Rasmus is about the player, is part of the players that maybe so, but this deal have not yet yield any dividend for Manchester United. That's what the people are saying. Moving away from there, but then you should remember that currently Manchester United are currently 13th on the English Premier League. That's why when you see they are not even part of the 10, I was like, okay, make I close my mouth. Maybe my mouth will go here, but I just need to say, just to corroborate what he said earlier, that they are 10th on the table. I need to let you know that they are not up to 10, meaning they are 13th. That's where they are on the Premier League table. I'm talking about Manchester United, where Drybone shall rise again. It's a possibility. All right, well, let's move away from there and talk about other things happening from the world of sport. Time is moving very fast. Let's talk about this incident right now. Murphy resumes training after 8 months absence. The Nigerian international Tyrone Murphy has returned to full training with League One side OGC missed 7 months after he suffered an anterior cruciate ligament injury. According to the information coming to TalkSport team this morning, a victim of a setback, Murphy was initially expected to return from a minor injury during the preseason. He, however, suffered an ankle rupture in late July during a training session. One of the things that even is worrisome to me is when players sustain injury during training. Why do players sustain injury during training? Because some persons are really surprised of that. If you not sustain injury at all, which is not they are doing anyway, it should be during a very competitive match. But then picking up injuries from training, what does that say? Is it that the players are just doing hard tackles anyhow, or is part of the game?
Well, everybody wants to impress the coach, you know. So, you know, the extension, everybody wants to impress the coach, both the defenders, both the attackers, you know. In fact, I won't say, you know, the intensity is as high as, you know, a normal game. Because, I mean, you're facing someone that's in the second team. This person will want to coach, myself, I deserve a shot.
Oh, actually, it's a fight for the first 11.
For first 11. So, you know, there's no surprise there. In fact, just like I said, the intensity is much more intriguing than in an actual game.
But Murphy's return, you know, even he's not been invited for the Super Eagles game for a while now. Well, his return, is it going to make any difference? Because we're even getting ready for the World Cup right now. Him returning to his club, and of course, maybe having a play time in the Super Eagles, is it really going to make any difference? Talking about Terry Murphy. possibly, well, but as it is, I don't know. But then Terry Murphy is one player that a lot of people have talked about, and of course he's a Nigerian international. So what do you think?
Well, this guy is a proven goal scorer. You know, he has done it. He has showed his abilities to score goals in the past. So I think it's a big boost, especially for his club, OGC. You know, it's a very big one for them. And to the Super Eagles, you know, I mean, adding him to the likes of Victor Osimhen, you know, Sadiq Umar, Paul Onuachu, adding him to that setup, it's a good one for us. I mean, this is a player on his day can score you at least 13 goals a season, which is good. Which is good. 13
goals a season. Let's also talk about other Nigerian players. We're actually talking about Nigerian players today. I told you we have fantastic players everywhere in the world. Ola Aina will sign new contracts soon. You know why? Forest boss Santo, Nottingham Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo is optimistic that Ola Aina will sign a new contract with the club. Aina is in the final 5 months of his contract with the Tricky Trees. The duo of Santiago Amarillo and of course Chris Wood recently penned new contracts with the club. But as I speak with you, Forest risk losing Aina on a free transfer in the summer if the defender fails to sign a new deal by the end of the season. Should he sign?
Of course he should sign. Of course he should sign. Of course, I wouldn't want him to leave. You know, this is a club that is building something special under Nuno. You know, so I mean, there's no reason to leave. There's no reason to leave. You have the chance to qualify for the Champions League in a very long time with Nottingham Forest. So there's no reason to leave. I really, you know, I'll be surprised if he goes, if he chooses to leave, because he's enjoying his football here. This is the first time. This is the first Premier League team that I've seen Ola Aina play with, you know, with the joy in his face, you know, and it's a very good one if he stays. I really like him to stay.
It's a very good one if he stays. As a matter of fact, let's quickly look at the fixtures before we come back to the rest of the story. But then I think we need to actually talk about Awuni before we go into the fixtures. Awuni's injury, but then Nottingham Forest boss is positive about his injury. Nottingham Forest, I'm talking about Nuno Espirito, has already said the club must be careful with Taiwo Awuni's injury. Awuni broke his nose after colliding with SSR goalkeeper in the game that was played on Wednesday night, Emirates FA Cup 4th round. The Nigerian international has a deep pain as he was actually stretched off the pitch late in the second half. But then they said there's nothing to worry about. But then his absence, will it cause anything?
For Nottingham Forest, you know, Chris Wood is doing the work, you know, and they, of course, you know, they need someone as a backup. So, but it's not going to. I don't think it's going to, you know, you're going to feel it that much, as painful as you know, as because Wood is just doing the work, you know, and he's fit. You know, only is a backup to Chris Wood, and so they're not going to miss him that much. But again, that's a painful one, you know, broken nose. I can't even imagine how that feels.
Very painful, you know.
Very painful. But again, we've seen it in the past, you know, after 1 or 2 games, just where he, you know, after the healing process starts, just put on your marks and you're good to go. So, you know, I really hope he comes back with a bang.
What's your opinion about the game going down between Leicester City and Arsenal? That's from the Premier League tomorrow. That's the first game tomorrow. And you know, when any game is separated from the other games, you should know that it is a hit game. 1:30 tomorrow, Leicester City will be hosting Arsenal.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Very tricky one. You know, the fact that Leicester in the relegation zone, early kickoff, and they are playing at home. Wow, you know, that might be a tricky one. But again, Arsenal, you know, Arsenal are eager to show that, you know, they can win the title. So I'm expecting a very entertaining game, but I just feel Arsenal might just nick it.
Arsenal might just make it. Apart from that, we have Aston Villa and Ipswich. That match is going to be 4 p.m. We also have Manchester City taking on Newcastle United. They will be actually, Man City will be playing at home. Then we also have Southampton and of course Bournemouth, and that match is going to be 4 p.m. Then another match that is going to be 4 p.m. again is West Ham and Brentford. These matches, which of these matches is going to be your star match today? The ones that will be played 4 p.m. You know, we have a lot of games going down at 4 p.m. You know, you need to make your choice. Which one is better for you? Which one can you bet anything? Which one can you what can you say, all right, I can suspend everything to watch this game?
Fair enough, I would love to watch the West Ham and Brentford game, you know, because I really think that game is going to be full of goals. You know, and I'm someone who, I'm a fan of goals. 8-2, 10-2, anyone. I love goals. I love the game.
That margin is so much. That margin is so much.
Yeah, I really think it's good. That's going to be the most entertaining game of the day.
That's going to be the most entertaining game of the day. Then Crystal Palace and Everton, that game is separated from the other games, and that game is going to be 6:30 tomorrow. And of course, Everton is going to be playing away. What do you think of that game tomorrow? Who are you giving it to?
David Moyes has come back with a bang. Let me use that word. You know, he has come back and shown that, you know, he still has what it takes after a very long time away from Everton. But again, Crystal Palace under Oliver Glasner have shown that, you know, they're a very strong team also. So I really think it's going to be a draw. That's how I see it. But again, football can go either ways.
It's going to be a draw. That's the prediction. It's going to be a draw. Alright, that is his prediction. Let's quickly get to the La Liga games tomorrow. The start game here, it's 6:30. Atletico Madrid and Celta Vigo. Do you see that game being competitive? Atletico Madrid and Celta Vigo.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one for Atletico Madrid, but you know, they have their way of, you know, just squeezing out victories. And I think that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe 2-0, maybe 1-0, but I feel Atletico will just win it.
Alright, what about this game? As a matter of fact, we have the games going down tomorrow, and of course the Nigerian Professional Football League matches that will be going down tomorrow. Kano Pillars and of course Abia Warriors, Imba and of course Rivers United. Then we also have Plateau United and Economy Warriors. Then we also have Kwara United and of course which other club are they playing with? Bayelsa United. I've talked about that. Lobby Star, the homeless club right now who left Nasarawa to of course Bauchi. They will be playing their game and they'll be playing host to Katsina United. Then Nasarawa United will be playing host to Ikorodu United. All these games will be played at 4 p.m. Nigerian time. Then the only match that was separated and taken to 5:30 is that one between Sunshine Stars, as they will be hosting Akwa United in that game tomorrow. That is from the Nigeria Premier Football League or Professional Football League, as the case may be. Do you watch NPFL? Because a lot of people will tell you, hey Ramsey, I don't watch NPFL. Do you watch NPFL?
Well, to be honest, I just follow it. You know, I just do my browsing and follow it on LiveScore because, you know, I mean, which TV station?
Which TV station? That's the Nigerian and the sport analyst. But then, can't that be actually handled? Is this something that cannot be handled anymore?
Well, I think nobody's interested. If you ask me to you know, to view it.
To view it.
That's just the problem. Because
why?
Well, it's possible maybe that they don't generate, you know, I mean, a lack of, you know, viewers, you know,
okay.
Because personally, when you watch Nigerian Football League, I used to enjoy it those days, but with time, just like I said, you know, the quality of football has, you know, reduced.
The quality of football has reduced.
I think that's the main reason why a lot of Nigerians are not interested in Nigerian professional football. Except maybe if your state home team is doing well, okay, you want to look at, you know, like someone like me now, if I look at the NPFL table and I see Adama United in first position, I'll be happy. And even though I don't know most of the players, you know, so I think but
it's just the spirit of
sportsmanship makes me happy.
All right, time is moving very fast right here. Let's quickly look at this one, the only Premier League game for Okay, another game, Premier League, Fulham and of course Nottingham Forest, 4 p.m. What do you think of that game?
Well, from the look of things, you can just look at, say, you know, if you look at their form this season, you can say Nottingham Forest, you know, will take the game. But they're going away. They're going to Craven Cottage, which is a very tough stadium to play at. You know, Fulham's that's their shrine.
That's their shrine. So everything is possible right there as far as they are concerned.
But from the viewers like you expect Nottingham Forest to just, nick it. And I think that's what's going to happen.
All right, so moving away from there, let's quickly look at all the things happening. Those are the fixtures for the games going down this weekend. It's a very wonderful and interesting weekend. Arsenal confirmed Havertz to miss the rest of the season, as he's been confirmed that he's missing the season after suffering a serious hamstring injury. Is it really going to be missed?
As much as you can complain about Kai Havertz, you can't take one thing away from him. He's a quality player. He's a good player. And, despite all the things people complain about, he's slow, he's sluggish, this fellow is a good baller. And he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed. We'll see it. When you look at Arsenal game, you will just notice something is missing. Despite everything people say about him, I know a lot of Arsenal fans that I know, they don't like his style of play. Anytime he's got the ball, you just see, which can pass.
But sometimes the spectator seems to be better players than even people on the field of play. You can see some people train their leg. You forgive this guy, you would have done this. Look how keep insulting and keep doing analysis from off the field. But some of them, if you take them there, they cannot play anything.
At all. That's it's not bad. It's everywhere. Even if a lot of us that criticize, politicians,
by the time some people will be worse. It's everywhere according to PMB. As a matter of fact, let's get to other things happening from the world of sport. This morning, as Premier League Week 25 is returning, we just give you the fixtures once again. Just remember that the Premier League actions resume this weekend, as the 13th place Manchester United will travel to face 14th place Tottenham Hotspur. That is 14 and 13 are playing together in the standard fixture of the week 25. The game kicks off at 5:30 p.m. and that's going to be on Sunday. And when of course we'll see how that is really going to go. And United will be seeking revenge after their dramatic 4-3 Carabao Cup quarterfinals defeat at Tottenham earlier this season. The Red Devils, have not beaten Spurs since October 2022 and will be desperate to secure 3 points in what has been let me just call it an underwhelming campaign for both sides. What do you think of that game? Already we've talked about it, but then the players now.
Well, both teams, have been underperforming so far this season. It's going to be a very interesting one because both are eager, to get out of that, their league position. 13th and 14th. At the beginning of the season, if I ask you, I see Tottenham being 13th and being 14th and my 13th by this time of the season, you would have called me a liar. Because nobody expected this. And both teams will need this victory and are eager for this victory, especially for Tottenham, because should Ange Postecoglou lose this game, by this time next week, I don't think he will still be in charge of Tottenham.
Wow.
Because it would have gotten, I'm sure the chairman of Tottenham, Daniel Levy, would have gotten fed up. Because on a normal the chairman is someone who is not patient at all. And even if you finish 10th, talk more of your 14th. So, this is especially for Tottenham, this is a do or die affair.
Do or die affair.
And Postecoglou has to win this game. If not, by this time next week, I don't think he's going to be in charge.
So people left before he came. So don't do what will make you to be shown the door out. Arteta could ask Premier League to bend rules for Arsenal after Havertz's injury. Mikel Arteta may need to request a special exception, that's to exempt them from the Premier League to ease the pressure on Arsenal squad, because reports have told us on TalkSport today that the hamstring injury suffered by Kai Havertz on a mid-season training trip to Dubai has left the Gunners with 3 senior attackers. All right, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus set to miss the rest of the campaign. Let's just look at other things happening from the world of sport. But then, do you want to react to that story?
Well, special exception, from the Premier League. I really hope he gets it, but it seems unlikely because Premier League, they hardly bend their rules for anything. So it's unlikely he gets it.
All right. Well, time is not on our side. This is where we'll be calling it a wrap right now. But then before we go, we just want to let you know